What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video. And today is not a viewer request. I have quite a few left to go, but I have to finish some tinkering with a few that I'm building, and we've gotten a few more new requests in there, so we have a regular episode today. And you know, gosh dang it, I really wanted to do an Iron Man one from the Marvel set. Believe it or not, despite the set just not feeling very Magic-y overall, I really like quite a few of the cards in the set. So, without further ado, if you like the daily deck techs, if you like Magic for the Working Class, History as Commander, my discussion content, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. If you want to see your commander made into a deck, go ahead and either drop it in the comments down below with stipulations like budget, commander, etc., or you can fill out the Google form in the description down below. Now, let's get into Tony Stark and the Invincible Iron Man. And let's see what Tony Stark is able to build in a cave with a bunch of scraps. Yes, I did just quote the Iron Man movie. Well, you see here, Tony Stark is a 1/3 for 1 generic and 1 blue, and he has tap 1, tap him. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and then you can pay 6 to transform Tony Stark, activate only as a sorcery. Fun fact for you, he's one of the very, very few good cards I got at pre-release for my deck, which I will find here by distracting all of you, along with Alien Invasion. Where are you, Tony Stark? Right there. And I thought he was cool. That's the main reason I wanted to do a deck tech on him, to be honest with you. I also needed to transfer over my cards from my pre-release sleeves. But what does Tony Stark transform into? Well, you see, much like an Ozzy Osbourne movie, he flips over and he says, "I am Iron Man." And he's the Invincible Iron Man. Yes, he has a confusing art where you don't know if that's his hand or his foot or what's going on, but you know what? I actually can tell. And there's some jets on there as well. But he's a 5/5 for 6. So remember, you can either cast as Tony Stark and then flip him later, or you can just cast him as the Invincible Iron Man. Flying haste into the beginning of combat on your turn, you may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, attach it to the Invincible Iron Man. So in this deck, I do have a few equipments, not a whole lot. My main thing is going to be dumping free artifacts onto the board. We do have some big Chungus artifacts and some other things in between. Now, I do have some things to go with Iron Man today. Some Planeswalkers who I think would be his buddy. And by that, I mean, absolutely Karn would not be his buddy. But, you know, we got Karn Living Legacy. Now, I really like this Karn. I have him as commander in one of my Brawl decks, and it's because he's a 4 loyalty for 4, but he +1s to create a tapped Power Stone token. It's an artifact with add 1 mana. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. It's great. It generates mana for you for a +1. I love it. I know he's not the strongest. Then you can -1 to pay any amount of mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library, and then put one of those cards in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That's pretty damn good, especially in artifacts where you're generating a lot of mana rock mana. You also have -7, you get an emblem with tap an untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. If you can get this off, you can just start shotgunning people with all of your little dorky artifacts. We have Karn, Scion of Urza. This card's also really good. It's 5 loyalty for 4. +1, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card in your hand and exile the other 2 with a silver counter on it. So that's pretty decent. And then -1, you can put a card with a silver counter on it into your hand. But then there is his -2, which I absolutely adore. It's create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And then, you know, I'm going to try out Tezzeret Cruel Captain. I overlook him a lot, and I don't know why. He's really good, but, you know, after somebody suggested I should put it in a different list, I'm giving him a try here. It's whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on him. That should be pretty easy. Untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put put a 1/1 counter on it. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle, and you get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 1/1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot. So searching your library for an artifact of mana value 1 or less is pretty good overall. I think it's only going to be able to get Soul Ring here. I don't think I put too many 1-drops in here because the budget was already nearing $600, and I don't want to drop like Mox Amber, Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond in here and send the budget over 1,000, right? You know, I'm trying to be a little bit realistic. In essence, I'm not going to build a deck that I myself cannot afford. We have Delacos, Crafter of Worlds. He's gonna be a mana dork for you, right? Tap to add double colorless, spend it only to cast artifact spells, activate and activated abilities of artifacts. Equip creatures you control have flying and haste. I'm going to count cost reducers as mana dorks here as well. So we have Enthusiastic Mechanaut, Ethereum Sculptor, Foundry Inspector, Joyous Familiar, and Ornithopter of Paradise as our other mana dorks. You can always switch any one of these out for things like Palladium Myrrh, and then Silver Myrrh, and then is it Copper Myrrh? Yeah, the red one. As mana dorks, they're all interchangeable. Palladium Myrrh is also really good because it adds the double colorless. This is just pretty decent since we do have a few equipment in here. We have Emery, Lurker of the Lock, affinity for artifacts. When she enters, mill 4 cards, choose target artifact in your graveyard, and you may cast it this turn. So in addition to her mill ability, getting stuff into the graveyard, people will probably pop some of your artifacts throughout the game. Plus, a lot of your creatures are artifact creatures, and you can bring them back. Always good. I did throw Blightsteel in here, since you can just drop this onto the battlefield when Iron Man attacks. He has Trample, Infect, and Indestructible. And if he would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it into its owner's library. So, you know, keeps you from decking. That's pretty fun. We have Iron Lad, Diverging Destiny, Flying, Vigilance. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can reveal the top card of your library. If it's an artifact card, draw a card. Not bad. Like, I had this. My pre-release deck was not good, friends. I had a bunch, and I mean a bunch of the little turtly little 1-drop equipments. So I played my Iron Lad, and I played Iron Man, and then I played this Iron Man. We went 1-3, and that one was a bye. Iron Man, Bleeding Edge, flying, and whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. Do this only once each turn. This is really good. I really like this ability. Get him into play, and then, you know, you can copy this. You can copy pretty much anything. You can even play your Invincible Iron Man and copy it, which is even more disgusting. We have Iron Man, Master Machines, Flying Vigilance. Iron Man gets +1/+0 for each other artifact you control. We have lots in here. Whenever Iron Man attacks, if an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. We have Iron Man, Modern Marvel, Flying, and other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever Iron Man attacks, if you control another artifact creature, draw a card. So he's an artifact lord and draws you a card. You know, pretty good. These two giving you draw advantage is just very strong, right? Like if you have an artifact enter, so like he goes very well with Karn Living Legacy, right? So say you don't have an artifact in your hand you want to play, you can have him drop out a Power Stone or him drop out a Construct, and then that just draws you a card, and then him will just draw you a card whenever he attacks because you have artifacts. We have Iron Spider, which is just big boy Steel Overseer, which is Vigilance. He taps to put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature or vehicle you control, including himself, and remove 2 1/1 counters from among artifacts you control to draw a card. So if you're really desperate, draw a card. We have Joyra, Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast a historic spell, so artifact, legendaries, and sagas, draw a card. So you're going to be drawing a lot of cards if you have her in play. We have Krang, Utrom Warrior, Flying, Trample, Indestructible, and Haste, and other artifacts you control have Flying, Trample, Indestructible, and Haste. Just plopping his butt down here with this guy and just bringing in the big smash is pretty good, and giving your other Iron Mans Indestructible is also very good. We have Momentum in the right hand. I love this card. I wish this card got more love than what it did. Flying, and you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library, and artifacts you control have tap, add a blue, spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. Sadly, him being a 5-drop precluded him probably from making CDH. However, I will say that I am vindicated when a whole bunch of people made fun of me for saying that Sammy could be a CDH commander, like it's too slow, and now it's a CEDH commander. Fringe, not tier 1, but it is a CEDH commander. We have ourselves Padim, so artifacts you control have hexproof at the beginning of upkeep. If you control an artifact with the highest mana value or tied for the highest mana value, draw a card. Phyrexian Metamorph, I love this dude. He is amazing. I adore him. Have him copy any of your non-legendary artifact creatures or a busted artifact. Yeah, that's what he does. I've had him copy Steel Overseer before. I've had him copy a Blightsteel before, or even some of the little dorky reduced cost dudes before. But overall, incredible. Pinnacle Emissary. Can I just say for a moment that I love the art from Edge of Eternities? Like, this stuff is cool. It's a 3/3 for 3, though, and whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless drone with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. Also has Warp 1. I really like this card too, generating little dudes. It goes along with Psymaster Thopters to generate you even more little Thopters when you play an artifact spell. You can also sack 2 artifacts to draw a card. We have Shuri, Wakandan Inventor, 2/1 for 2. Artifacts cost 1 less, so it's part of that Dorkage, but I didn't list her because she has another ability that makes her better than just mana Dorkage, which is pay 1 and tap her. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of a second target artifact you control until end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. So you can have, say, this robot become a copy of the Invincible Iron Man, and then they both swing, and then you get to plop 2 things out onto the battlefield. Then we have Steel Overseer with this Robotron. This is actually my favorite art for Steel Overseer, because I love Fallout. Put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature you control. Also puts it on himself. We have the Reality Chip, which is a 0/4 for 2. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as the Reality Chip is attached to a creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library, and you can reconfigure to attach it to a creature rather than it be a creature. But it is an equipment, so if you put it in, you can attach it to your Iron Man. Thought Monitor, Affinity, it draws you 2 when it comes into play. Ultron, Artificial Malevolence. This guy's good. Like, just generically very, very good. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. If the token isn't a creature, it becomes a 2/2 robot creature in addition to its other types. So, dropping your Steel Overseer, any of your, creatures, right? Mind you, don't do it to Legends, because the Legend rule will pop your other thing. But yeah, very good. Very, very, very good. Urza, Lord High Artificer. This guy needs no introduction. He's busted. 1/4 for 4, but, the command committee insists that he's okay in the 99, so here we are. When Urza, Lord High Artificer, enters the battlefield, you make a construct, and then you can tap an untapped artifact you control to add blue, making every artifact in your deck a mana dork. And then you pay 5, shuffle your library, exile the top card of your library, and until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. Card's disgusting. Sorceries. So we packed a bunch of creatures in here, like 26, and we are packing a bunch of artifacts, so we may have skimped on our artifacts and on our instants and sorceries. We do have Blasphemous Act in here for removal if we need it. Fabricate to help us search up for an artifact, put it into our hand. Thoughtcast to draw some cards. And then in our instant slot, we're only running 9. We have Chaos Warp, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization for removal. This doubles is like if you have something of yours that's going to get removed and you want to gamble on hitting something good, you can Chaos Warp your own thing. We have Aetherize to return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. We also have an offer you can't refuse, Arcane Denial and Negate for just like the smallest amount of counter magic. We do have Scour for Scrap. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and Thirst for Knowledge, draw 3, discard 2 unless you discard an artifact card. There you go. Now for our artifacts. We have 17 of them in here. This is one of the equipment. The equipment that I chose was very selective. I didn't want to go heavy into Voltron. But we have Adaptive Omni Tool. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control, which is pretty good. And whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So it is an attack trigger. You can stack your attack triggers. So if you have other attack triggers, it'll be good. Unfortunately, it will not work with this because this is at the beginning of combat. But if it did, that would be great. We do have mana rocks in here, lots of them in the form of Arcane Signet, Waterbender's Waterskin, or Bender's Waterskin, Cursed Mirror, which can also have it copy an artifact or a creature until end of turn, except it has haste. Is it Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Thought Vessels in here, Thran Dynamo I put in here, Soul Ring I put in here. So quite a few mana rocks. We do have Buster Sword. Equipped creature gets +3, puts 2. Man, this thing is expensive. I have one, and I opened exactly one collector booster pack of Final Fantasy, and I got the Japanese like alternate art foil version of Buster Sword. And whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. Pretty good. Dark Steel Forge. It makes all your artifacts indestructible. You know, dropping this out for free sounds pretty good. We have Genji Glove. Equipped creature has double strike. Whenever equipped creature deals attacks, if it's the first combat, untap it. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. It's a cheesy one, but you might be able to get it through. Then we have Hulkbuster Armor. This seems generically good, right? A lot of the stuff in here are heroes. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 9/9 flying. Equipped hero 3, otherwise equipped 6. It's a 4-drop. It's pretty good. Inside Engine, you tap 2, put a charge counter on it, draw a card for each charge counter on it. This is like, fair One Ring for draw, at least. I like this card a lot, so I threw it in here, and I didn't, like I was talking about earlier, the budget was already $600, so I didn't want to throw a One Ring in there and just, send it to $700 immediately. We have Simulacrum Synthesizer. Oh, it's hard to read. But it's an artifact for 2 generic and 1 blue. Whenever this artifact enters, scry 2. Whenever another artifact you control mana value 3 or greater enters, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token, which of course gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. We do have the boots in here to help protect our stuff. And then I did throw the 10 rings in here because it just seems pretty generically good. Your maximum hand size is 10. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 10 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. It's pretty good. I like it. Enchantments, we're only running 5. The Armor Wars, which is a saga for 4. Chapter 1, you may draw a card for each artifact you control. If you do, each opponent draws a card. You're going to probably draw like 10 compared to everybody else's 1. Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And then 3 is Saga deals X damage to target opponent, where X is the greatest mana value amongst artifacts you control. So if you have like Blightsteel or Darksteel Forge in play, you're just going to shotgun someone for a bunch. We have Artificer class. Level 1 is, of course, the first artifact spell you cast costs 1 less. Level 2 is this class. When it becomes level 2, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact. Put that card into your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And level 3, at the beginning of your end step, create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control. And then we have Mechanized Production. You enchant an artifact, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of the enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as the as one another, you win the game. I've actually won the game by enchanting something and then dropping enough Power Stones with my Karn to win the game. But I've put this on Blightsteel Colossus before. Remember, legendary rule does apply, so don't put it on legendary. I've put it on a Steel Overseer before. You can put it on quite a few different things. And even if you don't want your creatures, you could put it on some of your artifacts here, right? Like, you could put it on the Buster Sword, which is not legendary. You could put it on Simulacrum Synthesizer, which is not legendary. And then we have Stark's Ingenuity. Enchant creature you control. When it enters, you can pay X. If you do, draw X cards, which is always good. And whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on enchanted creature. Very, very good. And then Storm the Vaults, which is whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a colorless treasure artifact creature token. Or not creature, a colorless artifact token. That's a treasure. And at the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts, which is just gonna happen, you transform this into a Tolarian Academy. You can tap to add 1 mana of any color, or tap to add 1 blue for each artifact you control. Speaking of Tolarian Academy effects, we're going to go down here. We have Uthros, Titanic God Core, which of course is Academy we have at home. Enters tapped, adds a blue, and then if you station it for 12 plus, you can have it tap 1 blue to tap it to add 1 blue for each artifact you control. We have Urza's Saga. Will help you search for an artifact card. Also create a construct for you. We have Rogue's Passage in here. We have Mycosynth Gardens in here. I did put Glimmer Void. I've noticed, like, I don't see Glimmer Void get played almost ever anymore. And there's no land destruction, really. And as long as you have, like, 1 indestructible artifact land, like this one here, like, it's not going to die. It's a good land in artifact decks. Friends, play Glimmer Void more in artifact decks. We do have Academy Ruins and Arena of Glory in here, and Inventor's Fair in here as well. But that is the build, and I forgot to open a tab for the old playtesting, so we're going to do that here. Ba-ba-da-ba. Will Moxfield be kind? Let's see. It's loading. All right. This is not the best hand in the world, but you know what? We're going to do it live. We're going to draw for our turn. We're going to play a mountain. Next turn. Oh, look at that. We were rewarded. We were rewarded for trusting the deck. We're going to pay 2. We're going to put down Ornithopter of Paradise. Next turn, I'm going to drop my Darksteel Citadel. And we have quite a few things that we can do, but I'm actually going to... I'm going to play Karn Living Legacy. Put him over here. Set loyalty counters. I'm just going to put him at 5, because we're going to create a tapped Power Stone token. Next turn, we have our Darksteel Citadel, which is indestructible, so it's safe to play this. Glimmer Void here. And, you know, we have artifacts. I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're going to play our Iron Man. Flip him over. He has Flying and Haste. And at the beginning of combat on our turn, he doesn't even have to attack. You can put an artifact onto the battlefield. And so, beginning of combat, I'm going to put Ultron down, actually. There we go. We're still going to swing in with him. We're gonna assume that we're going to be able to bring in the beats. And then I am going to add a loyalty counter here. And we're going to create another Power Stone. May as well, right? Then, next turn. Oh, baby. We did it, friends. We did it. Look at it. This is going to be sick. First, I'm going to add a loyalty counter. I'm going to create a Power Stone token. Drop it down here. All right. So, we have to leave 2 mana available. So, we are going to going to do it this way. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to play Delacos. All right. And then we're going to move to combat. We're going to drop down Blightsteel Colossus. We are going to pay 2 to create a copy of our Blightsteel Colossus. And now our opponents will be in full-on panic mode because it is indestructible. So unless they have single target or mass exile like Farewell, they are up a creek without a paddle. I'm still going to swing in for 5 because he flies, and nowadays I've noticed a lot of people don't play flying creatures for some reason. During their turn, they're going to attempt to Farewell, and we're just going to negate that. Fun times, right? Next turn, we're going to bring the pain. I bring the pain like this, that pink venom. We'll do this, add ourselves a Power Stone. There. I'm going to tap 2. I'm going to play Talisman of Creativity. You know what? I'm gonna make a copy of it. Except for this is a 2/2. So I'm gonna put it up here. This is a 2/2, add a counter. Add a counter. That's how I'm gonna indicate that it's 2/2. So that is my 2/2 robot Talisman of Creativity, and then I am going to pay 3 to drop Insight Engine, and I am going to pay 2 to make a copy of Insight Engine. Add a counter. Add a counter. And then, of course, we move to combat. We don't really need to do much. We're just going to swing in with these guys. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Next turn, we're going to just play this Turbulent Springs. Notice we only have 5 lands in hand, but I'm just going to keep adding little Power Stones. Yes, I could have alted Karn. I absolutely could have, but I didn't. Although these can only be used to, the mana can't be used to cast non-artifact spells, you can use them for activated abilities. So we are going to draw a card with our Insight Engine. Move to combat. We drop the 10 rings down. Good old the 10 rings. We are not going to copy that because legendary rule is a thing. Move to combat step. Attack with our Blight Steels. At the beginning of our end step, we only have 1 card, so we drop to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards in hand. 10 cards is our thing. Oh my goodness, we have so much good stuff. Next turn. I'm just gonna play this. Oh, friends. First of all, add a loyalty counter. I'm just gonna keep making Power Stones. Because Power Stones are good. I'm gonna pay 3. Yeah, 3. We're gonna play the Buster Sword. It is not legendary, so I'm going to make a copy of the Buster Sword. So we have 2 Buster Swords here. I am going to spread out what I'm going to do here. By the way, I need to add a charge counter to this. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to move these little guys up here quick because these need to be separated, as I'm going to put a Buster Sword on each of my Blightsteels. Hello. I don't know how that works. It's not a creature, so it becomes a creature. I'll have to look up the rulings if I did this correctly, because it is a creature, but it still has an equip cost, so, you know. And then we move to combat on our turn. Or do we want to move to combat yet? No, we don't. We want to drop down the Soul Ring. So Soul Ring enters. And I am actually going to not make a copy of Soul Ring. Even though I probably should. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to drop Padim. Good old Padim. And then now we move to combat. I don't have an artifact in hand. So we will not be putting one in. And then we're going to swing with our 2 Blightsteals. We're going to assume that 3 damage is blocked from each. So we're going to look at the top 8 cards, or we draw 8 cards and cast a spell with mana value 8 or less. And this triggers twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put down Urza. And we're going to get that done. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to play down Storm the Vaults, which at the end of turn is going to flip into that. We will have to discard some cards. We're going to have to discard down to 10 at the end of our turn, but you see what the deck can do. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Wester with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.